2014 Street Glide Special Amp Tray Removal. It requires a T15 Torx for 6 bolts. Here, 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 and 2 there and there. The other one, there's 4 5/32 bolts, 2 in each side. One goes here and there, here and there. Once you pull all those bolts out, the amp tray just lifts up. It's kind of hard to do holding the camera. See if I can get the wiring out of the way. Amp tray. That leaves your speaker pods. The 2 bolts you took out on the sides go into the speaker pods as well. Once you get your speaker pods to the point where you have to take them off, you have 3 bolts on the outside, here, here, and here. And the 3 that you can't see are under here. So what I've done is I've already taken the bolts out already, and so I can show you. There's the 3 bolt holes, and there's where some engineer genius at Harley put those bolts. And to be honest with you, this one right here is the bugger on both sides. But once you get them off, pretty much that's where you're at. Okay, once you remove the speaker, disconnect the speaker, go ahead and split the pod in half. And the way you do that is you take out those 5 Torx head with T25, which exposes the wiring, and there's a grommet right there. Do not cut this wire. You need it for the plug-and-play system, as I have. Speaker wire out. What you have to do is you have to retain this grommet so you can put it back into the speaker pod with the new wires, to which whatever speakers you're going to borrow or use. I'm sorry. So all I did is I take the knife and I basically hold this like that up on the bench, like so, and just run a knife down it. And then what happens is, this is so hard to do with one hand, but let's see if I can. Almost had it, but anyway, you can see what I'm saying. Let's pull the wire out, and you'll retain that, so you can put your new speaker wire through that. Put that back in your speaker pod. All right, this is a 2014 speaker pod modification for internal mounting of 6.5-inch speakers. This side has already been cut. This side is marked for pre-cut, basically so I can illustrate what I did. I'm fitting Focal 165 KRCs. Now if you look at this one, I've cut down the posts even with the mounting surface on the inside. So if you look straight across, I've also clearanced right there and right there. The reason you do that is so when you drop your speaker in, isn't that pretty? Your speaker actually sits just like that. And as you can see why you have to clearance, there'll be some secondary cuts that I'll be doing on the other half right there on the left side, and the right side's got some more that I'll document later. But now that you've seen that, this is what it looks like, and I've actually marked where you have to cut down at. Okay, once you've actually mounted the speakers into the pods, you have to modify the back side of the pod, and you'll see why here in a minute. If you look right here at the speaker, this is where your mounting surface is, but it hits this surface here. So we're gonna have to mark that. Same thing on this side. I'm just showing you where it's at right now, and you'll see my marks when I'm done. This is the right side pod. There's a little bit more right here that you got to do on this side compared to the other, but you have to mark the back sides. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I cut them and then put them back together, and you'll understand. 2014 Harley Street Glide, part 2 of the speaker pod mod, where you clearance for the left side, just right there. On the right side, it's got the same clearance spot, and that's on the lower half only. You don't have to cut anything up here. It's on the lower half only. And then on the right side, you also have to do that little small area right there. And I'm using a Dremel, nothing big. That's all I'm using. Works perfect. Anyway, back to more install.